Good evening and welcome to Mo's channel. Today is February the 15th, 2019. I hope all of you Valentine's Day lovebirds had a wonderful evening on February 14th, 2019, Valentine's Day. Today I want to talk about our good old president, Donald Daffy Duck Trump. And with that, racism. Now, a lot of people don't understand several things. Number one, 70% of white men voted for Trump. What does that tell you? A lot of these white men that you see on these TV stations talking shit about Trump voted for him. Why? Before I answer that question, remember this. For the vast majority of his life, Donald Trump has been a Democrat and has supported Democrats. When did Trump become Republican? When Obama became president. A black man sitting in the Oval Office made Trump, a person who had always supported Democrats with his money, become Republican. Why did Trump have such massive appeal? From the get-go, Trump was a person questioning Obama. Trump settled with New York, or I think it was HUD, when they sued him for discriminating against black people. Trump's father was financed by the Italian mafia. Trump himself is financed by the Russian mafia. The only reason white people voted for Trump is because Trump did all he could to disparage Obama. The only reason you had a Congress of no is because Obama was a black man. Now, if Obama had been a Clarence Thomas, if Obama had been some little sellout Negro, some little Uncle Tom, yes, massa. How high you want me to jump, massa? I must do what massa say. If that had been Obama, they would have embraced him. Obama had a pastor who said, fuck the cracker. What? Obama was a nigger at heart. What? Let's talk about racism. I've done videos on white history, on real history, but let's talk about racism. Technically, you have institutional racism and personal racism. What's the difference? With institutional racism, you have institutions such as corporations, government entities, nonprofits, community organizations that practice discrimination based on one's race. So if you come to a bank and I discriminate against you because you are black, that means that if a white applicant submits a mortgage application and you submit that same mortgage application, I will approve that white applicant even though you have a higher income and better credit score than they do. That is institutional racism. Personal racism is when I look at an Asian person and say that person is dumb because their eyes are slanted. That is personal racism. All racism at the personal level. But remember, institutional racism is put in place by people. So it is sourced at the personal level. So I might as well say all racism at the personal level is founded in two things: insecurity and ignorance. I will address white on black racism. The reality is, when white people first came into contact with black people, the black people were more advanced than the white people. A lot of the inventions that are attributed to white people were actually created by black people. So there is no doubt in white people's minds that black people are actually fucking better than them based on a historical record. Now, if I'm living in a cave and I come to your land and you're living like the Jetsons with houses elevated in the air, I might be a little envious. What the fuck? What the fuck? I gotta run, catch a deer, kill the deer, cook the deer. You just push a button and the meal comes out. I might be a little envious. It is my postulation that when white people emerged from the northern part of Europe, having been trapped there by glaciers during an ice age, and they traveled around the world and saw with their eyes that everyone else was so much more advanced than them, especially the nigger. Especially the nigger in Africa, in Australia, in Tasmania, in Hawaii, in South America, because some of those Indians were niggers. it fucked him up. And he might have had some envy. And what is envy? Envy is not when I look at you and see you have something better than me. Envy is when I look at you and see that you have something better than me and fail to realize that maybe you applied yourself to get that something. And so I'm jealous of you because I am insecure in myself, that I do not have within me what it takes to attain that success. So I say, fuck you. That is envy. That is what white people had. So they rewrote history. So out of this insecurity, white people took over 150 million niggas from Africa. In Brazil, there are over 80 million black people. More black slaves were sent to South Central America than were sent to North America. At a time when Africa's population probably did not exceed 400 million, they took 150 million out because of their envy. They wanted to destroy that which was so much greater than they could even conceive. Envy. To this day, white men are envious of black men. The reason so many white people watch the NHL and MLB is not because these NFL and NBA players are full of themselves. It's because these NFL and NBA players are black. I played ball in college. Football, soccer, basketball, and high school. I played in a black part of town for high school, so we had a lot of black people in the audience. My first year, I played at Indiana. The majority of people watching were white. When I played at Howard and we played at another black college, yes, we had a lot of black people in the audience. When we played white schools, when it came to the championships, there were a lot of white people in the audience. Look at the NBA, look at the NFL. The majority of the people watching are white. When they saw the NBA become majority black, when they see the NFL starting to become majority black, it makes them feel insecure to sit there and watch black athletes do things they wish they could do. The white man is extremely insecure. When you're in love with yourself, when you're a narcissist, you are insecure. That insecurity is what gives them a need to create this sense of superiority. If I feel like I'm nothing compared to you, I'll try and make myself something imagined. But in order to really make myself feel like something, I have to step on you, put you down. And that's what you see this racism is about. During Reconstruction, after slavery, the freed slaves went buck motherfucking wild. They were starting businesses. They were becoming congressmen, governors, senators. What the fuck? Hold up, man. They were 3/5 human beings. How the fuck can a donkey start and run a business? It made white people feel very fucking insecure. And they had to do something about it. So here comes the KKK. Let us terrorize these niggas. That is the first domestic terrorist organization in this country. The KKK were formed to terrorize niggas, to step on these little shit niggas who used to be our slaves and now think they could run shit. Come on, nigga. KKK, look up their history. Jim Crow, how do we suppress these niggas? Blackface. The problem with blackface is not a white person putting on blackface. The problem with blackface is that it was used to mock and demean black people. The word nigga is uttered by a white person. And don't give me this bullshit. Oh, I'm white, I could say nigga because black people. Nah, motherfucker. When a white person said nigga, it was meant to send the intonation that you are nothing but a piece of fucking shit, nigga. Just like when they said, boy, come here, boy. You're a little fucking ant to me. It's not that the white man feels they're superior to the black person. It's that the white man fully understands that they are inferior to the black person. And when you have someone like Barack Obama who stands there and says, I'm going to be the president and I'm going to live in the White House, and my wife, the most successful first lady ever, is going to live with me. And I'm going to take this nation from a point of utter abyss and raise it back up. And he succeeded. Many presidents, including Bill Clinton's wife, Hillary, have tried to implement universal health care. A black man does what no white man could do. What does that do? It makes it clear to white people that they really ain't shit. And that is the biggest nightmare they have, that they will be exposed for the fraud that they are. It is that insecurity which leads them to do all they can to demean those who are not like them. Ignorance. I've been fortunate in my life as a Marine and as a business consultant to have traveled all over the world. I've been to Africa, the Caribbean, I've been to Japan, I've been to the Philippines, I've been to Toronto, I've been to Montreal, I've been to Vancouver, I've been to Brazil, Sao Paulo, Rio de Janeiro, I've been to Uruguay, Montevideo, I've been to Argentina, Buenos Aires, I've been to Peru. and I've been to Chile. And I've been all over this country: Houston, Dallas, Philly, Pittsburgh, DC, New York, LA, Miami, Arizona. I've been all over this country. When I travel, I don't want to be a tourist. I want to immerse myself in that local culture. So if I'm in Brazil, I'll tell the doorman, the bellboy, I say, look, I want to know about your people. Where do I go? I don't want to go to the tourist restaurants or clubs. I want to go where your people go. In Brazil, in Rio, I went to a club. It was up on the top of a mountain. You had to catch a trolley to get up there. They had this huge tree in the club, and the people were festive. They love life in Brazil. Actually, in all of South America, they love life. Buenos Aires, I went to a club. There must have been 10,000 people in that club. 5 floors. I went up to the top floor, looked down. Just a mass of people. Montevideo, Uruguay. Rio de la Plata. Toronto. You meet people. You eat their food. You understand their culture. You talk to them. You interact with them. You get to know other people that are not like you. That's how you grow. If all I know about Asian people is what I see on television, then I'll think Asian people are nothing but nerds. Not so. If all I watch is Fox News to learn about Mexican people, then I think all Mexicans are poor as shit trying to sneak across a border to come out here and drop babies. Not so. Ignorance about other people allows you to be fulfilled with stereotypical data. That stereotypical information is a misrepresentation of what that other person is. White people, instead of learning about other cultures, and when I say learning, if you're an American and you travel around the world, most people in most countries will tend to look up to you. The danger is assuming that you are really on a pedestal. What I've done is step myself down and let these people know I am in your country. I am a visitor to your country. I want to know about your people. White people don't do that. They come off as fake. And because of that, they can never really understand where the other person is coming from. Look at police brutality. They say, oh, well, it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. Oh, hold up. How many white kids are killed by police? How many white men are killed by police? In LA, if you're black, the police pull you over, they make you sit on the fucking curb. And I was driving around and I seen police pull white people over. White people right there by the police car talking to them. I said, whoa, hold up. So the next time a policeman told me to sit on the curb, I said, nah, motherfucker. I seen white people, they ain't sitting on no curb. Why should I? ignorance. So the white people don't see what the black people have to deal with. And they don't make that understanding that I do not know everything, because most white people think they know everything, but they don't know shit. So they don't bring themselves down. They don't humble themselves and say, let me learn. And because of that, their ignorance is never permeated, and it only grows. So the insecurity and the ignorance leads to the situation we have today called racist America. Everything you see in Trump, everything you see in Trump, the narcissism, the tendency to want to bully, the vanity, the conceit, the arrogance, the ignorance, everything you see in Trump is embodied in 70 to 80% of white men in America today. Trump is a reflection of them. And if you can see that Trump is a problem for America and that Trump is a problem for the world, then you realize that white men and their mentality, their racist mentality, is a problem for the world. It is not up to me as a black man to fix that. If you're schizophrenic, and I notice that you're schizophrenic, and I identify and present to you the negative, adverse consequences of your schizophrenia, it is now your responsibility to address that problem, not mine. So, I said I was going to talk about Trump and racism, and that is what it is. Am I going to be bothered by it? No. Should you be bothered by it? No. You say, they got guns. They got the KKK. Why the fuck can't niggas form our own KKK? And when there are white KKK marches, we put on black hoods and black robes. And we go march right across them. When they pull out their guns, we pull out our guns. When they pull their triggers, we pull our triggers. Then what? But they own all the corporations, they own the media. Every large corporation you see today started off small. Everyone. Why can't we do it? But they own the media. The media is changing. I'm going to make this prediction today, February 15th, 2019. Within 5 years, television, movies, in terms of delivery, will not be anything like it is today. Everything is going to move to the internet. And what is going to matter is content within 5 years. So the media ownership, a monopoly, will be irrelevant. A racist white person is only as powerful as the power you give him. If I'm afraid of a motherfucker with a white hood and a white robe, then I give him power. If I take a rifle and when I see that motherfucker walk down the street, pop, 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 at his feet, don't kill him, at his feet. He has a symbol of terrorism, I show him terrorism. Watch that cracker run like a motherfucker. Don't ever give no racist piece of shit power. If they try to assert power over you, smack them down. Tell them, bitch, sit your fucking ass down, motherfucker. Take the power from them. If I'm a man and I come home every night and I beat down on my wife, that gives me power. Yes, bitch, I own you. And the next night, I own you, bitch. And the next night, I own you, bitch. And the night after that, I come home, yeah, I'm gonna beat that bitch down. I come home, she's gone. She's gone. Who am I gonna beat up? Where am I gonna get my sense of power? As long as she stayed there and let me beat on her, she gave me power. When she said, fuck you, nigga, and rolled, she took my power away. As long as you let a shit-ass racist cracker exercise their racism, you give them power. As soon as you say no more, their power is gone. White people ain't shit. When the world realizes that, they really won't be shit. Once again, thank you, God bless, and good night.